I'll be with y'all in a second. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, wow. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, wow. Boo-boo. I seen you standing alone without a care in your heart, without a lover of your own. Boobity-boobity-boop. Oh, almost didn't make it. Hit the ground running. Computer still be giving me pop-ups from turning on. Ayo, Tane, how you doing? It is hot in Alabama. Ugh. It is disgusting. Hello, Ty. How are you doing? Hey, James. I am doing fantastic. Yes. And I hope you are doing well, too. Let me get some stuff around here. Look at me. I look like I just got out of the pool, bruh. You're okay? All right. Hot as hell in Oregon. Ugh. You guys get a lot of humidity out there? That close to the water? I've never been to Oregon. I used to live in California, but I didn't live anywhere near the water. So I bet, Sloan. How you doing, Sloan? Did you change your name? You should just be Sloan Chessman, right? With some numbers behind it. Ty, it's been raining every single afternoon. It's the best part of this time of year for me because it'll be like 90 to 100 degrees all day long, and then it'll just plummet to like 75, 80 degrees. Hey, Sharath, how you doing? I ain't seen you in Yeah, it's been a minute. Yes, it has been a minute. Been a long time, brother. Hope you're doing all right. Central Oregon, anyways. Negative, dry as hell, high desert. Okay, I got you. Yeah, when I lived in California, everybody's like, oh, it must be so cool there because you're right next to the Pacific. I'm like, it depends on where you live, man. Where I lived, it was just hot. But we did not have humidity. So I prefer no humidity to the stuff that we got here. Because here, you walk outside, instant sweat. Out there, it takes a while. But that's also really dangerous because you don't know you're getting hot. Doop-doo. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. I'm Goody. I added my middle name because a lot of the times that I comment on other channels, people thought I was a dude. Lazy Homebody here that's always in chat. She has the same issue. But get this. It's because everybody thinks her name looks like Lazy Homeboy. I had that issue, and numerous other people have that issue. I don't know what it is. Some people say they don't have any problem seeing it's Lazy Homebody, but they still assume she's a dude. I've never heard any. Is there dudes named Sloan? Dudes named Sloan. It is a gender-neutral baby name. I have never met a dude named Sloan. Of course, I've never met anybody named Sloan before you. But that is neither here nor there. This is going to be 30 minutes of me wiping my face off. I'm telling y'all, it is disgusting outside. Not only is it hot, it's just the humidity. It feels like you're breathing soup. Feels like 101. You went to school. What kind of synchronicity is that? I have never met anybody named Sloan. And you a Sloan yourself, went to school with a dude named Sloan. Hey Zoop, how you doing, my friend? Just feels like an oven on. Yeah. Whew. Let me move that away from me. That's kind of bright, showing all the reflections of the sweat. I'm cutting all this beginning stuff out when I re-upload this video, so. Ooh, good Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. So what y'all been up to? Nice, cool 101 today. Beats the 108 it's been all week. Ugh, that's disgusting. Get an ice bag. I have one, but I am so like picky when it comes to like my videos that I don't want, I have one of those, it's this long, it's the gel beads that you can freeze. It's a bag of those, put on your neck. Um, and I don't want that in the video. So I'm being stubborn for the sake of YouTube. Yeah, it's weird. Our names were spelled exactly the same too. How else would you spell Sloan? Slone? Oh yeah, I love metal. Humanity's Last Breath. Never heard of them. Humanity's Last Breath. All right, I'll leave this tab open and I'll check that. Ooh, I like their aesthetic. Looks like a horror movie aesthetic. Very cool. Buster Odholm, Khaled Thomer, Philippe Danielson, Marcus Hultquist. Are they Swedish? Norwegian? What they be? Very, very interesting. I like this. That's Facebook. I'm looking for Sweden. I thought so. I thought I recognized those names. You know, your boy knows a little bit of Swedish. I used to talk to my friend. I can type it out better than I can speak it. But anyways, yeah. Yep, with an E. Okay, gotcha. Oh, I will check out Humanity's Last Breath. Thanks for the rec, Kane. I appreciate you. I need one of those ice buckets that Marlon Brando had on top of a row. That movie, it is not a good movie. But there is a documentary on the making of that movie and how much of an utter piece of shit Brando was during the filming of it. Like, he was late all the time. He didn't even show up, and he didn't even show up on the day they were supposed to start filming. That documentary is amazing. But the entire thing was just an absolute clusterfuck, and I love it. Oh, how many minutes? We're 7 minutes in. I can cuss now. Buster writes most of it. He is a great mix engineer as well. Awesome. I'll check him out. The way this usually happens, Tane, is I'll go over to check out a new band that someone tells me about, and I will just be like, oh, I've heard them before. Because what I'll do on Amazon Music is I'll start an album and I won't play loop. So after the album is done, it'll just start playing bands that are like that band. And I'll listen to them and I'll thumbs up. I won't pay any attention to who the band is. I'm terrible about that. Which brings me to another topic, something that I wasn't going to talk about. But so when I was younger, my number one favorite thing to watch, other than Howard the Duck, of course, y'all know how much I love Howard the Duck. But I would buy live performances like Megadeth, Metallica, Slayer. Who else did I own? I had a Primus, numerous VHS cassettes, and then DVDs when DVDs started coming out. And I would literally, that was my favorite thing to watch, other than Howie. And I don't know what happened. Like, at some point in time in my life, I just stopped doing that. Anyways, long story short, I'm on YouTube Shorts, and I'm just scrolling through, and it comes up with this 2-minute interlude from the Red Hot Chili Peppers ahead of them starting Californication. And it's just a jam session that they do for 2 minutes before the song actually starts. And I'm sitting there, I'm just vibing, and core memory unlocked. I'm like, I used to watch stuff like this all the time. Why did I ever stop? So I went over there. I watched the entire hour and 41 minutes of Red Hot Chili Peppers at Slane Castle. Almost said Sloan. Slane Castle in, I believe it's Ireland. Don't quote me on that. And then after that, I went and watched a couple Slipknot live concerts in full. I was up to like 4 o'clock in the morning just watching live concerts, and it was amazing. I felt like a kid again. In my heart, in my chest meat, I felt like a kid again. For those of you that are waiting on the show, we're starting at 5, just like the scheduling said. I'm just here to talk to my peeps. But anyways, brings me to a question for you guys. What's your favorite live performance that you've ever been in? You've ever been to, or that you've watched on video, or whatever? It doesn't matter. What's your favorite live performance? Ugh. Where'd you come from? Hey, Haley, how you doing? I'm sat painting as I listen to you. That's awesome. I love it when people do other stuff while we're doing this. It's like we're hanging out at your house. I am starting to cool off just a little bit. I try to do this early enough that that people in the UK like Haley can come. But this is like the hottest part of the day. Is chat broken? Ain't nobody said anything in like 2 minutes. Testing. When it gets this quiet, I keep expecting YouTube to shut down. Oh, there we go. Now everybody. It's broken, I think. Oh no. The last thing I saw was Zoop said, "I love that doc." If anyone else said something, I did not see it. I saw 9 Inch Nails live. I love 9 Inch Nails. They were amazing. Also, Alanis Morissette live. I bet you that's a hell of a show because her songs are really, they got to, you can move to them. I could not speak the next day after both of them. Both amazing. Metallica's S&M DVD got me into metal, and my favorite show was Ice Nine Kills. Ice Nine Kills. Ugh. Now I'm seeing people. Kiope? Okay, Boggle. Pink Floyd in Toronto. Awesome. Are you a Canuck, Sloan? I'm not sure I knew that. Not that it matters, but I was just wondering. All right, let me post the stream over on the Discord. All right. The Discordians know all about me now. Lamb of God, Philadelphia. I love some Lamb of God. I really, really do. That sounds like something from a horror film. I see people. They do songs about books and movies. That's cool. One of my favorite albums is Among the Living by Anthrax. And Among the Living is, of course, about... Who knows? Who knows what Among the Living is about? You're a Floridian? Gotcha. I didn't think you were. That's why I was asking. Oh, no. Anything but that. Not people. All right, Nettles. Well, thank you for dropping in. The show won't be starting until 5 p.m., but I'm glad you're here. And I understand when she gets off, you're going to get knocked. Let me stop. Anyways, does anybody know what Anthrax's Among the Living is about? Anybody in the audience? They did songs about The Shining and It. Cool. That's a hint. Not just King, but what book by King? Shoes. Among the Living is about shoes. That is so epic. The Great Gatsby. Yeah, especially the Leonardo DiCaprio version. Leo loves thrash metal. You got Scott Ian's autobiography? That's cool. I didn't even know he had it out. He's a fantastic player. Yep, it was The Stand. Ding, ding, ding. Jimmy Brown is right. Among the Living. I mean, yeah. The name kind of gives it away once you know it's King. But yeah, it's The Stand. And they have loads of stuff based on books. I thought I'd take a shot in the dark with my lucky guesses. Yeah. I'm thinking about doing a trivia night or a game night with Stephen King trivia, but not like anything from his books, just like other people referencing him. He's a real sci-fi nerd. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I had Chris come out here and put all of the books that I couldn't reach that are on the bottom shelf down here. I had him come out here and take them all and put them on tables and chairs over here. So all the paperback stuff is over here. Your painting is going wrong. There's no such thing as a painting going wrong. Only a painting not becoming what you expected it to become. Ooh. I had a time today. I went and I replied to over a year and a half of comments that I never replied to, because anytime I go on to YouTube Studios app, it says you have comments you haven't responded to, and then it just like stares me in the face. And since they weren't hate comments, I was like, it's whatever. And if they were ugly comments, I just ignore them. And I found a couple funny ones too. They're over on the Discord, by the way. If you want to go to photos and you can see the comments that I replied to. But anyways, yeah, a year and a half, and most of the stuff was like people saying, "What's wrong with you? Why don't you like Billy Summers? What's wrong with you? Why don't you like Eyes of the Dragon? What's wrong with you?" Or "I lost complete respect for you as soon as you said this." And I'm like, you are one of 100,000 comments. The fuck I care. I was wondering why you liked the comment I made 9 months ago. See, I didn't see it. There's a lot of stuff on there that I did not see. I'm sure Lazy is going to come in at some point in time and be like, "Why were you?" I gave her just a bunch of thumbs ups. Once I comment or like the comment, it goes away. So, and I don't see it anymore. But yeah, I'm trying to weed out all of the comments I haven't responded to. Also, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It all comes down to engagement. The more I engage with you, the better the channel does. What was the most disappointing book or movie for you? Easy answer. Easy answer. Easy answer. This hunk of garbage right here. Neverworld Wake. It's so bad, I don't even put it alongside. I don't even put it spine out on my shelf. Well, I do put it spine out, but it's hidden in the shadows. See, look. Now you see it, now you don't. Anyway. Y'all know I love Marisha Pessel. This was the hottest of garbage. Hello, Noir Feliz. How you doing? But this is it. It's just a pile of baboon ass. Oh, hey, yeah, I've read just bought in I've read all of Stephen King's books at least 3 times. Who's it? Alfin Chris? Did I get that right? Alfin Chris? I'll just call you Chris. I might not be right, but Alfin. Alp. Inches? No. Oh, Alpin Chris. It is Alpin Chris. Okay. I'll do Chris. Last name, Chris. Okay. I'll call you Alpin. Can I call you Alpin? I'm sorry. Ailey, I wasn't trying to pick on their name. I really wasn't. I'm just, sometimes my eyes do weird things. What bet did I lose to read Elevation 3 times? Well, I read it once and then audiobooked it twice to make sure it was as bad. Yes, Sai. Thank you, Sai. Appreciate you. Long days and pleasant nights. Ugh. I have a feeling we're going to get busy in here tonight. So I won't be reading all of chat because I got to show off the books too. Yeah, well, I I don't want to say it this way, but it's so much easier to listen to that book. It just blows right by. It's like 3 hours long, if that. And I put it on ×2 speed, so it's like an hour and a half. It's like watching a movie. So I'm not really losing too much time. I had to put the paintbrush down because I laughed. Oh, okay. I didn't mean to pick, but I didn't mean for it to be funny. I got a bad eye. Hopefully at some point in time, I'm going to cool off. The air conditioning is down to 60 out here, but I forgot to get it really low before I started. But yeah, I try to, anyways, On Writing is fantastic. Alphen, it is fantastic. It is amazing. I talk about it in several videos. Most of the time I'm quoting that book when I'm giving advice, and sometimes I forget to say where it came from. But On Writing is absolutely fantastic. And I got, we're gonna show it off, but I got 3 different I have 3 different copies of it. So who wants the annoying task of counting how many books? I guess I could just do tally marks myself. But does someone want to do me a solid and do a tally mark every single time? Because Zach Books posted he had 400 copies of Stephen King's books. And I'm wondering if I have him beat. If not, if none of y'all want to do it, then I'll just do it when I redo the video. Anyways, I'm putting this hunk of junk back. We're not here about that. But that is the most... Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl is one of the biggest disappointments. It's easily the biggest disappointment. Because I've had some big Stephen King disappointments. Elevation, Billy Summers, Wizard and Glass. I've had some big disappointments when it comes to him. But I didn't think Marisha Pessl could do any wrong. Have you read Cabal? I tried it. I'm not a big fan of his novels, but I have it. Cable. Sorry. Cabal. I have all of Clive Barker's books, but I haven't been able to finish any of his novels except for The Damnation Game, The Great and Secret Show when I was real young. It was the first novel I ever read by him, and I liked it. And what's the other one? Damnation Game. Oh yeah, The Thief of Always is my favorite one. I have read most works, no Bachmann yet. You and Mike's books reviews are my guys, man. Appreciate you sparking a new forever hobby for me. That's awesome. I love hearing from people who started picking up books because of either the channel or one of my reviews or whatever it may be. So that brings me a lot of joy. Thank you, Alphen. Cable man. ×2 speed, elevated up, like, woo! Let's get this thing over with. Yeah. I'm excited. I've been wanting to do this for a while. In fact, let me go ahead and show these off as kind of like a precursor. Most of you guys will remember this stuff because it was hanging up behind my head for the longest time in the old videos. But in case you haven't, here's my Nightmare Before Christmas Pennywise. You'll do the tally? Thank you, Haley. I appreciate you. My Pennywise, if he was a character in Nightmare Before Christmas. I will. I'll tell you when. It's when I start showing off the books. Just count every single book I pull out. Oh, and this isn't Stephen King, but this is, yeah. The person who did this no longer likes me, so I don't mention their name. They wanted to draw me as a comic, a superhero, and I was like, can I be a villain instead? And then, of course, this hand-drawn, this is a scan of a hand-drawn picture by a dude named Ryan. Hello, John Smith. How doth thou do? I got another one that's what's her face from Hereditary. I always forget her damn name. Toni Collette. Toni Collette. Hey, Tony, what's going on? Speaking of Tony, what? That was interesting. Colleen? No, just Toni Collette. All right, where do you guys want me to start? Do you want me to start with the first edition collection, the limiteds, or the paperbacks? Where should I start? The limiteds? That's one vote for limiteds. Hey, Jake, how you doing, brother? Start small. Start with the paperbacks. First things first, I think. Wow, everybody's answered something different. If no one else has any more votes, I will start where Tony said to start because Tony was first. Where's my water? Paperbacks and build upwards. All right, so we got 2 for paperbacks, 2 for limiteds, 1 for first editions. I think I might want to start with the paperbacks just because it'll be easier. But first, limited. All right, people want limited. We'll start with the limiteds. I am going to go find my water because I'm pouring sweat. It'll cool off in here in a little bit, but let me go get my water and I'll be right back. All hail the chair. Never mind. It was hidden behind a stack of books. Never mind. Fooled you. Ha ha. All right. Come here, box of plenty. All right. So I am going to go through and tell you guys the year and whether or not it's a first edition paperback also. I'm going to give you guys as much detail as I possibly can. Thank you, Haley. Appreciate it. We are here. Hey, Douglas. How you doing? I saw your comment earlier, but I didn't say hi to you. Oh, I have to make some room. And then when I cut all this up, I will do an intro that's not on camera. Okay, so first up, we have The Gunslinger. I have a complete collection of the paperbacks, complete collection of the hardcovers too. And I know I have the Plume editions, but I don't know where they are. Another 2 things that you're not going to... So, Haley, go ahead and count 7 books. No, 4 books. So with this one, it would be 5, but also count 2 more. So it would be 7. 7 plus 1. We're already to 8 with this one. The reason for that is I have Gunslinger, Drawing of the Three, Wastelands, and Wizard and Glass in the Plume editions. I just don't know where they are. And my first edition of Carrie and my 25th anniversary of It are both in lockboxes. If you guys watched the short of the tree that fell, that's one of the reasons. I've lost my collection twice already. I don't want to lose, especially those books again, because the Carrie cost me... I had a very high limit credit card and it cost me quite a bit. I don't like telling people how much because I feel foolish now. But I got a first edition at a bookshop in Maine. It's not signed, but it is a first. It's got the cloth binding and everything. And the 25th anniversary of It in mint condition, still sealed in its package. Hello, Bookable. Yes, Gunslinger times 7. 12. Sorry. So we are already up to 8. Thank you, Bookable. How you doing? All right, so this one is the reprint paperback. This is the extended edition. And this one was published in 2003. So right around the time when he was going to end the Dark Tower series. No, after he had already ended it, because it was 2002. Anyways, we got the first edition of Wolves of the Kala. We'll look in there to find out. Next up, Drawing of the Three. It probably would have been the same year because I believe this was a box set. Yeah, 2003. Originally published in, 87? Yeah, 1987 for Drawing of the Three. The Gunslinger was originally published 1982. Next up, where did 8 come from? The Gunslinger plus 7 more. Yes. So we should be at, hang on. So let's say there's 7 books I can't show. 8, 9, Wastelands would be 10. So this version of the Wastelands, published in, I'm sure, 2003, because I'm pretty sure that this was a box set. Yeah, 2003. It was originally published in 1991. Yes, we're at 10. We are exactly at 10. So just count one at a time from here on out, Haley. All right. Next up, Wizard and Glass. Same edition. Once again, I'm sure this was a box set. This one, of course, was 2003. Originally published in 98. Or at least the original paperbacks were. What's your favorite Stephen King scene of all time? Of all time? You're going to have to ask me that some other time. I'm sitting here. Oh, man. Yeah, sorry, Bookable, but it's going to take me a while. Let me do a video for you, okay? I promise I'll answer you. Next up, we have Wind Through the Keyhole, book 4.5 in the series. And this is Pocket Books edition. These are Signet. All of these are published by Signet. And this one was printed in 2013. Sorry, I got hung up. 2013. All right, next one. We have Wolves of the Kala. And this is the Pocket Books edition. I loved Wind Through the Keyhole. I absolutely adored it. I really like young Roland. I don't like teenage Roland, but I do like young Roland. First published February 2006, this edition anyways. What I really want to say, Bookable, is the scene from It with Mrs. Kirsch. Run, honey, run far, far away. Yeah. So this one, 2013, this version anyways, I believe is what I said. No, this is 2006. The hell am I saying? Yeah. Donald M. Grant did the we'll get to those in a second. But okay, so this one, you guys want to see the spines? Does that matter to you at all? Next, we have this atrocious piece of Doogie, Song of Susanna. I have long said that this one should have been either at the end of Wolves of the Kala or, better yet, at the beginning of the Dark Tower. Not the series, but the next book. And this one was published all right, Pocket Books Premium Edition 2006. Next, we have The Dark Tower. I'm hot. This one got published, not gets published. What am I talking about here? Boy, this stuff is like newspaper. Look how thin it is. Well, I think I got something wet on this one. That sucks. This one's 2006 also. So here are the spines. The spines for you. All right. And now we had votes for the limiteds, and I just completely ignored you guys. So let's jump into that. Y'all, I'm raining. Charlie Jacobs going off on his the bad sermon, iconic, absolutely iconic. Okay, do you guys want the Joe Hill stuff and all that too? Do you want the Owen King, the Tabitha, all that, or do you just want King? Do you just want Daddy? Just Daddy? That's one vote for just Daddy. All right, I got to move the fog machine. I did not prepare well for this at all. As you can see. All right, here is the reprint of the Gunslinger. This is the extended version. Like I said, I have the original Plume ones. I don't have the original hardcovers. Those things are friggin' expensive. This one. And Yonder was published 2003. These are also my favorite covers. No, you do count this. You count all of them. So whatever you were at, I can, Haley, if you just want to enjoy the show, I can always just count them when we come back, when I come back to do the editing. All the backs are the same, so I'm not going to show the backs anymore. And I'm sure this is 2003. So, but yeah, this is Drawing of the Three. These are my favorite covers of these books. That's fine, Haley. It's fine. All right. Next up, we got the ones that I have wrapped in plastic. This is my favorite cover of this edition and my favorite cover in this series, period. It is so ominous and amazing. I don't care that it's just a steam engine and Blaine is a monorail. Wrapped in plastic. It's fantastic. It's 10 past 11. Yeah. Sorry it's so late, but I couldn't do it any earlier. Not only was it too hot, but I was also busy. Where did you come from? Why is this song stuck in my head? Next up, this is wrapped in plastic too, but only because I'm trying to keep it nice. It is absolutely perfect condition. They say don't wrap your stuff in plastic, but I haven't had any issues with it. I love the keyhole. Notice the keyhole in every single one of these. Except for Wind Through the Keyhole? What the fish? And the reason I'm starting up here is that's where all my limiteds are, or the stuff that I value the most in my collection. Wind Through the Keyhole. A Dark Tower novel. He wraps his stuff in plastic to keep it nice. Yes, I do. I do. Honestly, they came wrapped in plastic. I didn't actually do it. If I said I did it, I lied. Well, y'all, I'm raining. This was probably a bad decision not to do this later, but I wanted you guys in the UK and across the pond, and all, not in America, to be able to come. The pages turn yellow. I thought it was because the plastic will adhere to your cover. The pages turn yellow outside of it. It's oxidation. Hang on. Let's prove this right now. Why do book pages turn yellow? When exposed to oxygen over the time. If they're wrapped in plastic, they can't get exposed to oxygen. But no, the reason is for the yellow. Quick test, open it up. Well, these have been, look, they're white and they've been in plastic since 2003. So 20 years. All right, y'all ready to get to the grants? Let's get to the grants. Those were originally published by Viking. Wolves of the Kala. It's a great cover, not gonna lie. It's a really good cover. Tony just said, oh. So open them up and spray them down with oxygen to check. Yeah. Wolves of the Kala. Yeah, I love the cover too. I should go through and like show every. I don't know. That might be not illegal, but it might be copyright infringement to show all the pictures. That's a great picture, though. Next up, we got to show it. It even has a bad cover. Song of Susanna. Terrible font. Terrible font. Terrible cover. Just an all-around crap book. All right, Haley. I can't wait to see it. This is a bomb cover, though. Not gonna lie. I got chills when I saw this shit. The Dark Tower 7. The Dark Tower. Have any other authors done that? Named the final book in a series after the series name? Has anyone done that? It'd be like Brandon Sanderson naming the last book, The Wheel of Time. Roland giving the what? There's a heart in the way. I gotta wait until someone else types before I can see what all you wrote. How many copies of Later do I own? Lord, fans? Okay. There we go. Nettles, all you posted was a period. Like on period. Bruh. You see how hot I am? This is ridiculous. And we got a long way to go, cuz. Oh, thank you. Duh. I'm sorry, I'm not very bright. Okay. So now we get into the limiteds and the standalone novellas and other nonsense. We has the Kerry from Cemetery Dance. And yes, I'm going to open them up for you. There's also unboxings of these on the channel, but they're not very good because I did them live back when I had the 2 megabytes per second. And this was $85. plus shipping and tax, of course. It is stunning, isn't it? All right. Next up, we have the chunker. Until the let me say something real quick. I was going to wait to redo this until Cemetery Dance released the final 2 from the Doubleday years, which is The Stand and Pet Cemetery. But it's been 4 years since I paid for them, and I haven't heard anything about them. So, but that's just Cemetery Dance. That's what Cemetery Dance does. They rob Peter to pay Paul, so they'll sell a bunch of stuff, collect the money, and then spend it on whatever, and then have to sell more stuff to be able to ship those other books. And yes, it is illegal to do that, but Cemetery Dance is going to do what Cemetery Dance wants to do. Salem's Lot in a beautiful. These are the gift editions. I have to point that out because every time I bring up that they're limited, someone's like, why don't you have the $1,200? Because there's no reason to buy a $1,200 book. He says, after spending enough money to buy a used car on Carrie. This one is always fit extremely poorly. This is the hardest one to get in and out. That's what she said. But yeah, it's a thick boy. I can't imagine how long it's going to be. The uncut version of The Stand. It's only that's only 626 pages, but they use thick. And you know what? You know what I think happened? I think Cemetery Dance shot themselves in the foot with The Stand, and it's not possible to print the book because all of these books are almost double this. That's the same book. That's the same book. Same book. And this is half the length of The Stand. That's 1,300 pages of The Stand. I can't imagine that's a cheap book. It's extra thick. It is. It is. It's going to take me a while to get it back in. This is awkward. I've never had a problem finding the hole. Next, we have... He's struggling to get it in. Hush! Instantly regrets. All right, here we go. We have The Shining. This is probably the prettiest slipcase. That's just blank. See how easy that one just slid out? And I think the illustrations in this one are my favorite. Of the limiteds. Gotta have that snow. They snowed it. Oh yeah, this one was $95. I believe Salem's Lot was $95 also. See, I had no problem getting it in that time. Checkmate, ladies. Yeah, the blues and whites, yeah. Ugh. It's going to be hard to cut out all these face wiping episodes, but it's whatever. It's what happens when it's 101 and you forget to turn the air conditioning on. All right, here we go. My biggest regret purchase. It took, 3 years to get this? And it wasn't all that great. Sleeping Beauties. I mean, it's pretty, don't get me wrong. It's just, it wasn't worth the wait. See how easy that came out? If you can't tell, that's a tree with a fox. See, in this one, you see how thick this one is? It's like 800 and some odd pages. Hang on. No, it's not. It's 681. Never mind. But this one is even thicker than Salem's Lot, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, you see how much easier they go in? All right. Coming up on my favorite limited. My favorite limited. Revival. This is just absolutely exquisite. It's from Letterhead Press. Absolutely exquisite. It's ribbed for her pleasure. No, it's ribbed like a Bible. And it's the same thing on front and back. I have videos of the unboxing of all these in a higher definition on the channel. Just search for unboxing of that specific book, okay? Hey, Sagebrush, you're currently reading tons of Ken Follett. I've never read anything by him, not even like Pillars of the Earth. I know who he is, of course. All right, so you guys don't want to see the Joe Hill stuff. That's fine. That's fine. It's just some beautiful limiteds of his stuff. All right, now moving on to books. One of them is not written by Stephen King, but it's still in the collection, and it still has to do with Stephen King. I don't mind not showing the Joe Hill and Owen and Tabitha stuff because they don't, well, they do kind of tie into Stephen King stuff, but they don't have his name on it. Who knows about this one? Who knows what this is? The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. Who knows what that one is? Rose Red, baby. You absolutely right, Jacob. Edited by Joyce Reardon, PhD, with an afterword by Stephen Rimbauer. And that's not the case at all. I think, I have a feeling I know who actually wrote it. It does not say in here, but I have a feeling I know who wrote it. Anyways, The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer. Now check this out. This is technically, I do not have Ridley Pearson. Hey, skinny puppy, how you doing? Ugh. Eye of the Needle currently, getting Pillars from the library, waiting for the next Red Rising book. Gotcha. All right, this is technically a limited. It came with a slipcase. I do not own the slipcase. I bought it secondhand, but this is technically a limited edition. Technically. I know it doesn't look like one. I understand that, but this is the Green Mile. It came in a slipcase. And look at all that oxygen. Look at all that oxygen. All right. Is the person who... Alphen. Here comes the books you were talking about. We got not one, but dos copies of On Writing. Scribner Classics edition and regular Scribner version. They are gorgeous. They're in really good condition too. I also have a paperback. I'm not going to show the paperback with every one, but let's go ahead and get this out of the way. It's going to be a chore to get these next ones down because they're pretty smushed in there. But we have the first edition of Cycle of the Werewolf and the movie tie-in that has not only the novella, it has pictures from the set, and it has the script in the back. Sweat break. Yes, Corey Haim, not Feldman. It was Corey Haim. Corey Haim, Gary Busey, and a bunch of other people I don't know. All right. Y'all know what this is. First edition. Whatever. Blockade Billy, which also has the short story Morality at the end, because if not, this would be like a 50-page book. Published by Scribner. The audiobook of Blockade is so good, I'll have to check it out. Got the Colorado Kid. Do you notice a theme with this line of books? Have you guys figured out the theme yet? Hey, Ron, how you doing? It's the first edition. All the rest of these are first editions, so I don't have to keep on saying it. Joyland. And you know this one is a first edition because they completely changed the cover for some odd reason afterward. Her laser toy, that's cool. Yeah, it's a great book. But those last three books are together because they're my least favorite standalone copies. And then for whatever reason, why do I just have 2 copies of Later? I thought maybe it was because I didn't send the giveaway version out, but I 100% sent out the giveaway version. Yeah, we're going to get to the Skinny Puppy. We're going to get to those chat books here in a second. I got 2 versions of Later. 2 copies of Later. All right. Then we have, here's some just random stuff. Creep Show, the actual comic. This thing is so good. It is beyond amazing. It's really cheaply made, don't get me wrong, especially for $18. It's like, well, picture books are, I almost said picture books. Meteor shit. Hey, let's see if I can find it. Hang on. Anyways, it don't matter, but here it is. The short story Weeds, or The Bad Death of Jordy Verrill, I think it's called. Father's Day ending scene? Yeah, I can do that. The Lonesome Death of Jody Verrill. Ask and ye shall receive. Woo! All right. Y'all know I read this one on stream one night. Charlie and the Choo Choo. I finally got my cake. By Burl Evans. All right. And last one. Oh, here's some other stuff. Casey Daly did this. And also, someone sent me this. And now I can't remember who the fuck it was. Are you in chat? Whoever sent this to me? I knew I should have wrote your name on the back of this. Was it Zoop? Did you send? Yeah, that's right. It was Zoop because you sent it to me with Rage, right? The French edition of Rage. That's right. I remembered before you said anything. Love you, Zoop. I appreciate you. Love me some Zoop. All right, and then Stephen King's The Dark Tower, Volume 1. The Gunslinger Born. This is cool. I really like this. I really, really like this. And shit like this, man, just amazing. Love it. All right, let's end with the first editions. Let's end with the first editions because I want to get through this box of books over here. Books that I do not have space for. So, of course, we have the first edition of Pet Sematary. I know that by heart. First paperback edition. Dolores Claiborne. This is the version that I've read numerous times. I'm looking for the publication date for this. First Signet printing, so it's a first edition paperback, 1993. I have two versions of this, so I have the first edition that is just completely just worn out and written all over. I got this one, and then I have the movie tie-in cover. It's both different seasons. You bought your first one when you were 14? Cool. I can't remember what my first buy was. I think it might have been The Wastelands, but the first one I read was Dolores Claiborne when I was 13. This reissue of Cujo. It was Christine that you bought? This one, this one's covered in dust. You can tell I've never read this one. Not this copy. All right, so where's the print date? Come on, stop hiding it. 1980. No, that ain't right. 1982 is when the book came out. Or maybe it is the... It can't be. Anyways, I can't find a date for this. I can only find a date when it came out originally. Speaking of which, Ron, Christine, baby. I know this is a first edition paperback as well because it has the same cover as the hardcover. And this is in really good condition for how old it is. We have this one. Also, to remind myself to count later, I have the black one with the blood dripping, but it's inside. Yours is all covered in tape. This is Salem's Lot, by the way. I do have the black one, the black cover with the stamped face and the blood droplet. Showing it off, it wouldn't show up on camera anyway. So, but if you want me to go get it, I'll go get it. It's up to you. For Past Midnight. This is a terrible cover. I don't like any of the covers that look like this. No idea what your first purchase was? Check them out from the library. This is the version of Dreamcatcher that I read. I haven't read it in almost a decade now. But I bought this brand new. And it's worn out. I've read it 3 times. Actually 4, because I listened to the audiobook once. Beavers in the chat. The covers that look like that, I am fond of, because those were the covers of the books you read in high school. Cool. I just, there's better covers than those, and of course it's just my opinion. Whatever. Skeleton Crew. Oh my God, this one's dusty as hell. 1986. This is the 32nd printing. 32nd printing. That's nuts. We have the Tommy Knockers. I really like this cover, by the way. I really like this cover. The glowing green, the house. I love this cover, even if I don't like what's inside it. Well, let me stop lying. There's only a third of this book I don't like, and it's the last third of it. But anyways. Here we go. One of my favorite Stephen King covers. At first, I had no idea what it was. It looked like a dragon. And the first time that I saw it, I thought it was a fantasy novel. But it's 2 birds. The dark half. I love that. Dust. It's so pretty. I never reread that. This one? Talking about that one? Bag of Boners. Ugh. Yeah, that dark half cover is nice. And this is just it's got to be a first edition because it ties into the original hardcover. Dinner. This is a first edition too because it's the same as the first edition. It may not be a first printing, but it's the first edition. Tommy Knockers? Yeah. I really like that cover. The Dark Half movie is great. George Romero, it's one of his better films. Needful Thongs. Another first edition. You can tell, once again, same cover. All right, I have numerous copies of this book, but here's one of them, The Shining. This is the second to last reissue they did. All right, Nettles, have a good night. All right. And then, of course, I guess I was collecting these covers at one point in time. I don't know why, because I don't like any of them. But this is Carrie. First edition Firestarter. The only difference between this and the first edition is this is black, and the first edition is the first edition hardcover is white, but it's the same artwork. I actually prefer this one, but I understand why they went with white because the white is very different from the rest of his covers. Up to that point, anyways. Kind of looks like a duck. It does look like a duck, doesn't it? You got the white edition, so do I. It's over here. And then I have these that are kind of a tie-in. No, I got more. Hang on, I got more King stuff to do before I show off these other ones. Okay. Hearts in Atlantis movie tie-in cover. It's the only copy, a paperback copy of this book that I own. with Anthony Hopkins as Ted Brodigan. The Mija Hula Tangodan. I think I might actually prefer this cover to the hardcover. We'll talk about it when we get there. You still haven't read Hearts in Atlantis? It's a good mosaic novel. It's basically just a novella collection that all ties together. Road work? I sure hope so. Another version of Christine. Boy, these covers were awful. I don't know who redid these. Let's look up who designed these covers. This is a 31st printing. Wow, it's so bad they didn't even give anybody it is a tire track. Yeah, it's supposed to be a tire track with a little skull on it. Man, I don't know. It is what it is. It's Christine. Nightmares and the Dreamscapies. Of course, the first edition hardcover is so much better. What the hell is that cover? Looks like a spine with a skull. Yeah. I like this, don't get me wrong, but I do prefer the first edition hardcover. And then this is the only, like, odd one out. I don't have the rest of this collection. This is the Wastelands. It's cool and all, but yeah, the hardcover reissue is my favorite. First edition, The Dead Zone. Once again, because it has the same cover. It's just less colorful. And we have Miserloo. Ferry across the Mersey. What is that on the Dead Zone? I believe it's a Wheel of Fate with a face on it. The Wheel of Fate is at the beginning of the book. I don't want to spoil anything. And then it's a creepy face that's supposed to be Johnny Smith, or maybe the George, whatever the president's name, or the guy that's running for president. Greg Stilson? Something like that. All right, and then these two are just one-offs. One of them I have in hardcover, and the other one I don't, because it didn't come out in hardcover, from the Borderlands. And this one has, what is it? The stationary bike? Yeah, stationary bike, which was collected in Bizarre Bad Dreams, I think. Greg Stilson, yes. And then the Skin Trade, which has Dan Simmons, Stephen King, and George R.R. Martin. It has the Reploids, Sneakers, and Dedication in it. You never heard of this one, Ron? That's cool. Yeah, the Reploids, a bizarre unknown comic, dares to preempt Johnny Carson. Sneakers, who or what occupies the world's first and only haunted toilet stall? Reminds me of, what's the one about the porta potty? from Just After Sunset with the motherfucker. Stationary Bike was Just After Sunset? Yeah. I knew it was one of the newer ones. Dedication. Some mothers will do anything for their sons. A very tight place. Thank you, Skinny Puppy. Appreciate you. I always forget. I always want to call it the motherfucker. That story is hilarious. And in the intro, he says, I want to instill dread and scare you, but I am not opposed to just grossing you out. Yeah. Anyway, that's that one. Because I already have a video showing off my It collection, I'm going to skip the It collection. Okay? Don't be mad at me. You've seen them, or you will see them. All you have to do is go check out the Redux edition of It. One moment, please. I must roll another table toward y'all. Okay. I was collecting a certain version of Stephen King's books until they stopped printing them. So that's what these are. And also there's some gifts in here. Needful Things. I was trying to collect all these, but they stopped printing them before I could. They were expensive. They were $10 a piece, and I couldn't find them on sale. Pet Cemeterium. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Beaver. Thank you, Haley. Smooth. Well, no. Let's get to that in a minute. Let me show off the rest of these. Revivalration. This is a pretty sick cover, I'm not going to lie. It's a really good cover. And then we have The Good Wolf Wolf turned Bad Wolf Wolf. That's the copy you read. It would be an amazing poster, you're right. I understood, Jake. Good Pup Pup turned Bad Pup Pup. All right, and then these are just randoms. We have Cell. This is a terrible cover, terrible Photoshop. Absolutely terrible. Your number is up. They would be great on t-shirts. You're right, Jimmy. No, I wouldn't say so, Solvents. That's a really bad place to start with Stephen King. But if you like the writing, he doesn't write any different in that one than he does in his other books. But it's not a good example of his style. And then we have... Yeah, you're right. Okay, so Stationary Bike and A Very Tight Place are in Just After Sunset. Yeah, Solvents. Yeah, just enjoy it. Just know that the closest... after you're done with the Mercedes trilogy, there's 3 books. Mr. Mercedes, Finders Keepers, and End of Watch. There's also The Outsider with one of the same characters from that. And there's also If It Bleeds that ties into it. And then also there's a 6th book with one of the same characters coming out this September called Holly. Just After Sunset. Booyakasha. Little known fact, in the old Theory videos, the original series, this hardcover would float around to different places and no one ever noticed. In the background, it would float around and no one ever noticed except for one person. Then we have Blaze. Holly is going to turn... If It Bleeds, it ties into It. We don't know what Holly is going to be about yet. I know it's going to happen during the pandemic. I'm looking forward to Holly too. It's my favorite Stephen King character. All right. And then we have, of course, the person who is not here today that breaks my heart. Landon sent me this as a gag gift. It's the massive trade. This is the difference. This is a trade paperback. This is a mass market paperback. Look at the size difference. It is pretty. It is goddamn pretty. Very, very pretty. All right. Y'all ready to get started on the first editions? Well, too bad, because I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, we're going to get started. But we're already an hour and a half, and I'm stuck in this chair. So I have to. Did I like the movie? I liked Morgan Freeman's eyebrows. That's all I'll say on that. I am a heathen for reading. No, you're not. Read however the fuck you want to. Don't ever think that. Read on Kindle. Read on read audiobooks. Listen to audiobooks. Whatever you want to say, it's still reading, because someone is still reading to you. Fuck off if you think differently. Read books. Read the back of fucking cereal boxes. I don't care. Just read. Read. Okay, I will, Haley. I'm gonna go. I'll be back. Give me 5, at the most 10 minutes. Okay? I just got to get up and walk around a bit because my back gets swollen. Yeah, the best part, before I go, the best part about reading on Kindle is you don't have to buy expensive $40 large print editions if your eyesight isn't great. You can just increase the size of the words to whatever you want to. It's brilliant. Anyways, I shouldn't be bending over. That's what she said. My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. I like the way you wiggle wiggle. Oh, show. It is still hot outside, in case anybody was wondering. But I'm back. Back in black. I hit my sack. Oh, Lord, it hurts like whatever. Anyways. The Lecter one looks cool. Oh, yeah, Lecter. Over here. We got 11. We got the Demogorgon that won't stand up on its own. All these jokers. All this stuff. So anyways. We're getting into French edition of Rage. I forgot I have some more paperbacks over here I haven't shown. My buddy Zoop sent me this. Cut loose. Run the news. Raging hormones. Raging hormones. We have The Stand. This is the 800-page version, so the cut edition. And this is another version. That's the 800 cut version. I also have the first edition. I'll show that in a second. This is a wild cover. Look at that. It almost looks like Salem's Lot or something. But anyways. Lee Angry. That's great. We have the bootleg first edition of Rage. Thanks again to Tony for this one. Have you read all versions? I have read... You talking about The Stand? Yes, I've read both of them. I only prefer the uncut version because the kid isn't in the cut version. And now on to the complete editions of the Bachmann books. We have this paperback. This one, all these have Rage in them. I do not own a single copy of the Bachmann books without Rage because I consider them incomplete. I am not paying full price for an incomplete set of books. I believe this is a UK first edition. Yeah, that last one of the Bachmann books is really pretty with the colors and everything. Your first king was the Bachmann books? That's cool. There's a lot of people in here from the UK. Haley, Jimmy Brown. I'm sure there's more. Then we have the hardcover for American First Edition. Very plain. It's whatever. It is what it is. They wanted to be cheap. New American Library being what it is. And then this one. Oh, no. No, we have a catastrophe. No. Hang on. The fog machine leaked and got on my stool that I keep it on. I'm going to have to clean these up as soon as I get done. I'm going to put them over here so they're staring me right in the face. No. What did I do? Sorry, we are having technical difficulties at the moment. Anyways, then this one, this is the first version I had and the only version I had for the longest time until my friend Cammie sent me this one. And then I finally found a first edition at a yard sale. The Curse of the Damn Fog Machine. Where's Viking, by the way? Where is Viking? Yeah. I'm actually cold tonight. I've got bed socks on. Ugh. Oh, that smells terrible. It has the autumn leaves scent in it. But this, it smells like it just scratched my, never mind. And then let's get these out of the way. Since they're technically first editions. Button box. We can, Jimmy, yeah. It's campfire stories, so definitely. I just want to throw this one. Magic Feather. I wouldn't have these if someone hadn't sent them to me. Dick Jizmark. And the last one, Final Task, whatever. And even the cover art is lazy. It's just whatever. Remember the treasonous plot to steal the Dark Tower from an author who's hot. Okay. Let's get on with the first editions. The first editions. The first one is good. The second one is absolute trash. I gave the first one 5 stars. The second one 1 star because Stephen King didn't help him write it, and I haven't been able to convince myself to go in and read Final Task for the first time, even though King is a part of that one. From what I understand is he didn't have much to do with it at all. He just gave Chizmar some notes, but that could all be speculation. I don't know for sure, but I have heard nothing but bad things about it. And Gwendy goes to space. What? Whatever. All right. The first editions of the Green Mile are as follows. The Two Dead Girls. These are chapbooks. They were only $3 a piece when they came out. Part 2. The Mouse on the Mile. These are the oldest Stephen King books I bought brand new. They're the only ones that survived the second flood. Well, the first one was a hurricane. The second one was a flood. Volume 3, Coffee's Hands. Volume 4, The Bad Death of Edward Delacroix. And that last part was $4. I was upset it's because it's longer. It was literally the cost of printing. Because all of these are like 100 pages. Yeah, they're about 90 pages long. And then we have Night Journey, Volume 5. And then we have Coffee on the Mile, which was $3.99, as Skinny Puppy said, but that's because it was a little bit longer. It was 140 pages. That's why it was a little bit more, because they had to pay for the extra paper. So it's not because they jacked it up just to make more money. Didn't he write it as a periodical to test himself, sort of? What happened is someone said, hey, why don't you write a serial and we'll produce chapbooks for it? So he was like, okay, let's see if I can do this. And he wrote them. He didn't write it all at one time. He wrote one, it came out. He wrote the next one, it came out. So as quickly as they came out, he was writing them that quickly. But of course, they're only 90 pages long. But it wasn't really a challenge as much as someone gave him the idea to do like an old-time, almost radio serial. So that's the story behind that one. I guess I'm going to do another giveaway for later. I can't seem to get rid of these extra copies. Anyways, it's because I haven't sent out the prizes yet. There's also these two, but I've shown these two off recently. Hey, Mike, how you doing, brother? All right. My nose. All right. Oh, one more. One more offshoot. Shining in the Dark. And then we can get to the first editions. But yes, I was still glad to buy them all in chapbooks. And then the full novel version. One of my favorite King novels. That's awesome. Cool. All right. Starting way back here with a book club edition of Carrie, because like I said, my first verse is in a lockbox because I paid way too much. I know that bookseller was just happier than a pig in shit because he got over on me. That's why I don't like talking about how much I paid for it. But this is a book club edition. This is not a first edition whatsoever. Was wondering if you were going to bring the real thing home for the... No, they don't leave. Did you see my short where the tree fell? I'm glad I didn't, because had it been a couple feet this way, it would have tore this wall down. If not, go look on my... I had a tree fall, almost destroyed the shed. Do you regret it or still... Hang on, I can't... Ooh, Art Deco. Do you regret it or still not too bad? What do you... Oh, do I regret paying that much? Not really, because I have it. It is mint fucking condition with the original cover, the cloth binding. It is an immaculate, beautiful book, but I paid I'm not going to tell you exactly how much I paid, but I paid $2,000 over market value for it. Over market value for it. And this was in 2008. Been out of town. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, it was scary. As we heard it. What happened is something woke us up in the middle of the night about 3 a.m. And then we were all in the house. It was storming, and we thought it was just a storm that woke us up. It was torrential rain for like 3 hours. So then the next morning, Chris goes outside to take the trash out, and he's like, holy shit. And he comes, Dad. So I come outside, and I look, and there's this massive tree down on our property. It barely missed. It fell between two sheds. And missed one of our cars. It was, anyways. But yeah, first edition, but it's a book club edition. But this is what it looks like. This is what Carrie originally looked like. So yeah, whatever. All right, now we get into the reels. The first edition, it's got cellophane on it, but so you're gonna get hella wicked glare. The first edition of the Salem's Lot is so pretty. It's so pretty. The decals of the edges. We have the one with the R74 code. The Shining. I think it's R74. I can't remember what it's called. It's on like page 4 or something. I can't remember. These two had the decals of the edges. That boy's face? Yeah. That's the only thing that even remotely says that this is a horror novel. Even remotely. Because look at the cute little... It looks like a... What is it? A Shih Tzu? It's supposed to be a lion. It's supposed to be the hedge animals. The topiary animals. But it just looks like a big doggo. After he saw the twins. Oddly enough, the twins are not in this book. Great. I was wrong in my Shining connection thing. Grady didn't have twins in the book. Grady only had twins in the movie. He had daughters, and they were around the same age. Anyways, I got to be real ginger with this one because this one's falling apart. The Stand, a novel by the author of The Shining. Look at it. It's so falling apart, man. Stop it. But look at what they did to my boy. Look what them bastards did to my boy. It's all, you can see right through it. Oh, Lord, I can see y'all. Oh, Lord, Jesus. We have The Nacht Shift. Poor book, right? No, it's a first edition. Night Shaft. Night Shaft. Give me your answer true. Okay, I do have a confession. This is not the original cover. I printed this out. I know well, Mike, they're all garbage. They're all garbage. Go look it up because they used the same printer for the BCEs as they did the first editions. They're also the same size. They reissued the first. They reissued all the way up until. Let's see here. I think it was Night Shift. They reissued in like 1990 or 1999. They reissued them in standard hardcover, but the original ones were the same size. They just changed the stuff on the dust jacket. They took the price code off of it and they put down on the bottom. They put book club edition, but they're the same size, same everything, same glue, same trash, all that stuff. I'm not either, Mike, because they look terrible on the shelf. I don't know if you can see the size difference, but Carrie comes way up here, and the rest of them stop right here. So, yeah. Anyways, I showed you Night Shift. This is a newly printed cover because the first edition I found didn't have a cover. Same with this one. The Dead Zone. You can see it better, Haley. You can see the size difference on my shelf. You can see the picture better here, Haley, if you're still here. I think you are. Yeah, it's a Wheel of Fate. Like I said, this one's more colorful. I had to have this dust jacket printed also. And now we are getting to the books that have not been altered whatsoever, even though The Shining, the Salem's Lot, The Shining, The Stand are all original everything too. But everything from here on out is original. You're going to be able to tell, trust me. Oops, his head fell off. Fire starter. You didn't even see where I took the there was a price tag on it that said what, $13.99? Yeah, it's $13.95 is the original price, but it had the sticker on it from when it was brand new from Walden Books, but it had been on there so long that it damaged. I am really good at removing stickers. It's my zen. It's how I kind of wear down. I decompress by removing stickers. This is completely smooth. There's no problem with it whatsoever. It doesn't feel like there was a sticker there. There's no ripping, but the sticker became part of the cover. Yeah, fuck stickers on books. Yes. All right. I really like this cover. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, you know how I said I like the black paperback version better? I don't think so. I think I prefer this. What do you guys think? Do you guys prefer this one or the black paperback that I held up earlier? I think I like this one. The eyes pop much better, which is odd because it's white. But you can see her nose better. You can see her mouth. You like the black? Did you try? Yes, I use Goo Gone. I even have a little special scraper, all that stuff. All right. Next up, we have Zikujo. You like the white skinny? Yeah, you can see the flames better. You can see everything. This is so good. It almost looks 3D, doesn't it? And this is from way back in the way back. This is like 84, man. Doesn't it look 3D? God damn, that's hot. It doesn't look, it looks better on the camera than it does. Oh, it does. It looks better on the camera than it does in real life. But we got Furry King back here. Yeah, it does look amazing. I never actually really paid attention to the first edition. This one breaks my heart. I paid $40 for a first edition of this. This is one of the most expensive, other than the limited editions. This is one of the most expensive ones, other than Carrie, first editions that I bought. Because I couldn't find one with a dust jacket. And when I got it, they wrapped it in brown paper. So when I cut it open, it cut the spine, cut all the way down here. Yeah, no is right. Yeah, $40 and I damaged it my damn self. Not the spine, right? Exactly. Stephen King, Joyland, Colorado King, Dolores Claiborne, and one related Dolores Claiborne, and the other hard-boiled books. All of his happen in the same Earth. A lot of his books happen in the same Earth. All right. Next up, we have the first of the Christines. I mean, I'm trying to understand why you're saying this, because Haven is from Tommyknockers, and that ties into. I mean, I'm wondering why you're bringing. Anyways, let's continue on. I'm so confused because there's a lot of stuff that ties those books together along with the rest of his stuff. It's not just the hard case crime books that tie together. Yeah, I understand he states there are multiple Earths. It's kind of my thing. Anyways, so this one, once again, sorry for the glare, but it's got plastic on it. And this one, I couldn't find it any better than this. I still put the plastic on it because otherwise it's in fantastic. This is back before, I could have showed that on the other stuff. This is back before ISBNs, or right when they started doing ISBNs, so you'd have to punch the code in. See, there was no USC, no. The codes, the barcodes. It's before the barcodes, not before ISBNs. That was stupid. Sorry. But yeah, you can see they would have to, when you went to Walden Books or something, it was kind of cool because they would open it up and they. Anyways, I really like this book, the way it looks. Okay, here is the most faded bullshit you will ever see in your life. I don't know who kept this, but obviously look at the color difference on the spine. I guess whoever had this before me left it in the sun or something, because the rest of it's not faded. Yeah, sun damage, right? Yours is worse. Your first of it has the same problem. It sucks, man. The sun will fuck up your shit, and so will oxygen. We were talking about that earlier. But yeah, anyways. So look at how old she is, bruh. Look at that, though. It's got a stamp on it. I don't know what the stamp is from because this isn't a library edition. But ooh, the deckled edges. I didn't even realize this one. I've never read this one. This copy. You know, I've read Pet Sematary. I've never read this copy, and I didn't realize that because it's a first. I try not to touch these. And you can tell this is where I stopped caring about the older covers because the old stuff really started deteriorating quickly. This one isn't in plastic. But this is Skeleton Crew. It's got... Damn it. No. Stop it. Anyways. I thought you stopped caring me. Skeleton Crew. Once again, no barcode, but the ISBN down here. I don't know why someone cut that off. I think it was supposed to be destroyed, but you can see the beginning of the ISBN on it. Do you know that Stephen King was a fan and played D&D in the 70s to to 90s. King played D&D? Okay. I mean, I believe you. All right. Just because this is the one with the reprinted cover, so I lied. This is the one with the reprinted cover. And then I have the one that's in worse condition. If you guys remember the It Redux video, I showed off both, but this is the one that I keep on my shelf over here with the collection because it looks so much better. It's a first edition that I had the dust jacket replaced because it was literally falling apart. All right. So we have The Eyes of the Dragon. Will it be good to read Holly after the Hodges trilogy? I would definitely read Outsider and If It Bleeds before Holly. I would read the entire series. I would read the Bill Hodges series in completion and then read Outsider, If It Bleeds, then Holly, because I'm sure Holly is going to spoil all the rest of those books. Every book after Mr. Mercedes spoils what happens in the book before it. Read all of King's books plus all of... That's what I tell everybody. Just read from Carrie all the way up to Holly and you'll be fine. I don't know why this one's in such good condition. Misery. I mean, it's a first. You see, it's a first. It wasn't about to be. This is in really good condition. I haven't taken these books off this shelf since I moved them last time. Look at him with that absolute pimp stash. Yeah, you're right, Mike. This is about the time when they printed so many of them, but this is clean. Like, I have books after this one that are nowhere near as nice as this. Let me make sure it's a first. It might not be a first. Some of these are not first. All of them are first editions, though. Was this before? Yeah, this is before they started the number lines. Huh. Anyways, I've always liked the shadow of her with the axe. Yeah, I did the Dark Tower books right at the close to the beginning. There might be a summary already. I haven't looked at it, and I haven't done a video like I normally do with King stuff because, first off, I wasn't doing videos back then when it was announced. But anyways, I got a lot more to go, and I'm still trucking through this. Yeah, I agree. It is a cool cover. All right, here we go. This thing is in absolutely ravaged condition. And this came out after Misery. I have a card in here. Oh! Nick! Nick's not in here, but he used to say, I don't know why this is in here. That's why it was in here. It's sitting on my desk. So, Guard Takes a Walk is where I theorize that he came back from rehab. That's the chapter I was talking about where he wrote the first part of this before rehab, before Tabitha found the trash can full of bloody Kleenex. Then she sent him to rehab. And the reason why I think that is because he said something in an interview about Tabitha saying he needed to go for a walk and not come back until he was better. And this one starts, Gardner took Annie's device and went for a walk. He went, in fact, all the way out to the ship in the woods. I feel like I really do like your videos, and they do explain the connections between all the books and the multiverse better than other videos. I was trying to explain them? Christopher, I'm not sure if I'm missing something here, but what I'm saying is I don't understand the importance of bringing those other books up and not bringing up like the Tommyknockers. You know what I mean? Because the hard case crime books are not just, and I know you mentioned Dolores Claiborne, but you didn't mention Tommyknockers and you didn't mention a bunch of other stuff that ties in. So I was wondering why you were focusing on just those books. If that makes sense, I hope it does. That's all I was saying. I just didn't understand where you were going with that. Yeah, I get that I appreciate it. I do. But I was just wondering what made you bring that up. You like the hard case crime books? Of course you do. You have no class. I'm kidding. I like Later and I love Joyland. I love both of them. I just don't like Colorado Kid. 4 Past Midnight. And this is the first one we know this is the first one with a barcode. It's the first one with a barcode. This is clean as hell too, honestly. This is clean. I like this one. But yeah, 4 Past Midnight. I would agree with that, Mike, but I could have ended it much better. You could have just said he could have tied it into Tommyknockers with having them like going out into the field or whatever and finding the thinny that somehow this dude traveled from Colorado to Maine in 3 to 5 hours. That would have been cool, finding the thinny that the Tommyknocker ship came through. There was so much he could have done. But anyways, that's 4 Past Midnight. All right, here she is, boys and girls. The chonkiest chonker to ever chonk. The Stand. He wanted to keep it mundane? Yeah, because why? Hard case crime doesn't pay as much as Scribner and Viking and Doubleday do. This is a weapon. This is a kitten squisher. This Joker's like 1,200 pages. The circle closes. (1,153 pages. Doubleday refused not. They didn't refuse. They didn't edit 150,000 words out of it because they didn't like the content that was in there. They edited it out because they literally could not print this back in 1970 whatever 79. This absolutely massive chonker. Can you imagine how big this is going to be? The Cemetery Dance Edition is going to be. I'm sorry. No one is going to squish you, girl. I've got an 1800 Bible. Oh, yeah. Any Bible from that time is going to be, yeah. Mike's almost all the multiverses Tommyknockers, and it happens. Once again, Christopher, I don't know if I'm missing some of your comments or what, but from my point of view, what you just said doesn't make any sense. I'm not trying to be mean. I am confused. I'm about to have some water. I'm trying to figure out what Christopher is talking about because I don't like ignoring people. But Mike's almost all the multiverses Tommyknockers, and it happens. I'm thinking you're talking about the book It. Mike's almost all the... I'm going to continue on and wait to see if Christopher has anything else to say. Hey, of course, Solvent. I try to do that with everybody, but I'm confused with Christopher at the moment. Hopefully we can clear this up. Zoop. I only use the turkey call bottles when I stream. All right, here we go. I feel like this is the most underrated Stephen King book. What do y'all think? The Dark Half. And I think this is supposed to be... I know it's supposed to be a skull, But is it supposed to be an X-ray of a skull because of the stuff? Yes, the book It and Tommyknockers and Mike's is a mod in the stream. I'm still okay. So you're talking to Mike. You're not talking to me. Okay. Anyways, so Dark Half, boom shakalaka, got that sexy barcode. He looks like a straight pimp in this one. I would hop on King in this picture. This King I would hop on. Like not many of the other ones, but this King, best King. Look at him, that sultry ass stare, boy. He looking right into my gonads, boy. He's like, "Come over here, big sexy." That's a sexy man's. That's a sexy man's. All right, Stevie Queen. I think boy, Mike, you almost got banned, cuz. All right, needful things. And I love this. This is like Friday the 13th, the final chapter, the last Castle Rock story. And then he goes on to do Elevation and the Gwendy books. And I hate it when people do that. It's like, it's ending. It's ending. And then he just keeps going. The Shadow's good, isn't it, Haley? Yeah. It got the original sticker on it. $24.95. Never mind. No, it was on sale for $17.97 at Gottwall's. I don't know where Gottwall's was because I didn't buy this when it first came out. It is the first, though. Take it off? I don't want to take it off. What happens if this is old? Looking right into your gonads, oh Lord. All right, we got another sun-damaged one. Not this, of course. I mean, it's damaged, but look at what they did to my spine. Look at how worn out it is. Hey, look at that. That ain't the same man. That is not the same man. That isn't the same man. The Tommyknockers stole this man's right here. This man's over here is not this man's. It's like Clark Kent with the... Anyways, let me stop. Anyways. Take it off. Whoop, whoop. Gerald's game. It's got a stain on it I can't get off with Goo Gone. I can't get off with alcohol, anything. Oh, this is underrated too, but I would say that the Dark Half more so because this film adaptation is fantastic. The Dark Half got relatively poor reviews and didn't make that much money. Gerald Stain. Okay. All right, next up. Oh. For the longest time, even when I was younger, I thought this was like she had a corona. For some odd reason, it slipped my mind that there's an eclipse in the book. But like, you know, Mother Mary kind of deal. And this is an absolutely iconic scene from the movie too. When the eclipse is behind her and she's looking down into the well. So good. I still remember the sense of discovery when I opened this book up and started reading. I was like, what is this? Look at him. Look at Chunky King. Look at Chunky King. He doesn't look anywhere near as good as he did on the back of the Dark Half. Nowhere near as good with the deckled edges. With the deckled edges. Ooh, baby. No, stop. That's for the OnlyFans. Move along. Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Such a cool cover. The Scarecrow. What is it, the Castle Rockets? Yeah, Castle Rock Rockets. This one has a sticker too. I did not try to take that off. When I start, I don't stop until they're gone. Amazes me how many people on Amazon reviews don't know what deckled edges are, or they think they're cheap. They're not cheap. There's a mark on the page block. Oh my God. Ow. Ooh, we still got a... Why does man write so many books? Why? You're not one for short stories, but you're trying to get through them? I got you. I love deckled edges, man. I understand why some people don't, because it's hard to flip through it. But I don't know. It gives it a sense of class. Here we go. Insomnia, which is probably the most boring Stephen King cover of all time. It's even worse than the Bachmann books. I mean, there's not a single... What did they pay for this dust jacket? Like 50 cents? I love the short stories too, Christopher. Do you have the other? No, I don't. I can't find it. The illustrated one, I can't find it. The one that inverts the red and the white. Yeah. You love that cover? No, I haven't been able to find it. So, no, I haven't. Unfortunately, I want it. Also, because we're here, we got to show this off. This is Somnios, which is the Swedish version of Insomnia. You love it simply. I mean, I can dig it. Don't get me wrong. And look at this goofy bastard. That is not the same man on the back of the dark half. The king on the back of the dark half fucks. He fucks. This guy, it looks like he's going to steal copper out of my fucking air conditioning. That's what he looks like. I also got to show this. This thing is literally about to fall apart. Literally about to fall apart. Danse Macabre. Now look at this absolute wildebeest. He looked like he about to steal your grandpappy. That is a bear. Exactly, that is a bear. Exactly, Jake. Yes. I almost called you John Cub. McBra. Macabra. Macabre. Macabre, is that how you pronounce it? No, it's not relevant nowadays. It was barely relevant when it came out. It is an absolute atrocious condition. Another first. I mean, literally the pages are... Ah, fuck. Yeah, this is going back. It's going back. And because I should have shown it off, the Talisman with Rip Peter Straub. Well, no, I pronounce it correctly. I don't want to pronounce it macabre. That sounds fake. You know the funny part about it, Mike, is there was a video that I pronounced it Danse Macabre, and all the comment section is, dude, why did you pronounce it that way? So many people have mispronounced it. I don't know which one's real. You go over to the YouTubes and the Googles, and the Google's got both versions. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying. That's the Talismans. Oh, I didn't even realize it was the same exact cover on the back. The interesting thing is that the international covers of his books gives more context to the story in the cover. I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. Macabre is right. Whatever. And Hellfire Club. I have a Hellfire Club t-shirt. Anyways. I'll show up Black House when we get to that section. This chunky boy. Oh, you know how much I love it, the cover. I love the cover. It is so good. And the wood grain on the spine. Oh, it's so good. And then the cover of the regulators through the window. Oh, it's so good. So good. Thematically, artistically, so good. So good. All of this, whoever did this cover should have done all of them. Dance McGraw. All right, we're out of order here, but because I have this one up here with the other ones just to fill in space, the girl who, I definitely like the paperback version more than I like this one. The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. Woo, we had 2 minutes, 13 seconds, and we're barely halfway through the Regulators. Mount Up, a novel. Okay, next shelf. We still got one whole shelf and then some stragglers. I got to get 2 of these out. And I have a buyer beware here in a second. First edition. The 20th anniversary. Anyways, it's an anniversary one. Bag of Bones is amazing, but do not buy this version. It has a 6-page interview at the end, and that's the only new content. And they're charging the same price as the first edition. Don't get the one with the blue around it. If you can go for the first edition, get this one. Yeah. All right. That was the book sliding and not my butt. Hearts in Atlantis, which is a great cover, but I hate the font. Sure. Fuck off, Mike. So good. I like this a lot. This one's in rough shape, too. Not because I've read it so many times. I haven't touched this one, other than moving it around my office. But I did not buy this new. It was at a time in my life when I wasn't reading Stephen King anymore. Because remember, the first time I read Bag of Bones, I hated it. You've always loved this cover? I like this cover. I do. I don't like what's inside of it, but I do like the cover. Oh, this is an old library copy because I couldn't get the... once again, there's nothing sticky here. But you can see the discoloration from the sticker that was on it. Yeah, it was a library edition. It's a first edition, but someone had it at the library. Ugh. As my buddy Pierce calls it, from a spew fuck 8. And this one is very unique because, as you will see, the UPC code, the barcode's up here. That's a great book. Fuck you guys. It's a great cover. Don't get me wrong. It's a very pretty cover. Everything's Eventual, which is an amazing wraparound cover. It's a whole dinner scene. I love this cover. I love every bit of this cover. My least favorite collection of his. And yes, even though it has a Dark Tower story in it, my least favorite collection. And here comes the first book I bought in hardcover after the flood. No, after we lost my mother's collection that I was supposed to get. This is a gorgeous cover. And it's another kind of wraparound up to this point anyways. I do love how it's the opening of the book that's showcased, just like it. And then creepy-ass demon-possessed king. He looks like a horror movie villain. Look at his eyes. Oh, it's all those painkillers. No, he said he didn't use painkillers after he got out of the hospital after his accident. But that is the face of a man who very, very shortly ago got hit by a van. And those might even be ER doors. Kevin Bacon King. Yeah, he is a horror movie villain for writing Cell. I'll agree with that. And then another one of King's boring things. Boring covers just after sunset. It's another one with the text on the back, too. I really, really like this collection. I really like it. Wax Sculpture King. Sorry I'm not reading every comment, but I'm trying to get through this because we're already at 2.5 hours. I knew this was going to take forever. Lisi's story, which has a very, very cool design, and I'll show it off in a second. Because you can't show off this book without opening it up. Take old girl's clothes off. Oh my God. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my God. So good. Yeah, I do like that he has a batch of terrible books too. I just don't like the books. It just shows that he's actually fucking human. You know what I mean? Like, he's not this perfect author. And besides, even his worst book, Billy Summers or Elevation, there are people who love those books. I had a couple people comment on my review that said that Billy Summers, I couldn't even say it with a straight face, that Billy Summers is the best Stephen King book. Like, the best. I'm like, how many Stephen King's books have you read? Just that one? What the are you talking about? All right, gotta go. Dinner has arrived. All right, Mike, talk to you later. Email me sometime, jackass. You don't talk to me no more, and I don't like it. Ever since I left Twitter, I don't see you. Jackass. Anyways, Doomakey, which is another gorgeous wraparound cover. Oh, it's so sexy. Top 5 covers for me. So good, man. So good. I saw someone the other day review Dreamcatcher and love it. So yeah, it happens. Well, Landon, that's one of his favorite Stephen King books is Dreamcatcher. They are easier audiobooks. Yeah, I would say not a lot. Let me take that back. I would say that over half of King's books, all of them, including all the short story collections, all the novella collections, all the nonfiction, everything he's ever published, I would say the vast majority are actually better on audiobook just for the performances that they're able to do. Speaking of great audiobooks, Under the Dome. What is up, Lee? How you doing, brother? I love the texture difference. Can you guys see the difference of where the dome is versus where the dome isn't? You can't really tell it here, but you can really tell it on the back that there's a texture difference. It's so cool. Now, here's a Trixie Hobbitses. At first, I thought this was the most boring Stephen King cover. This didn't make any sense. Hey, King, how you doing? What does that reference? Anybody know? Take a good, hard look at it. I'll show off the rest of it. Do you know why the 9's important, Jake? Do you know what the 9 represents? It was very clever, I thought. And it has nothing to do with 19, but do you know what the 9 represents? It's his 9th collection. Because 7, 8, 9. That's all you get for that one, Zoop. Yeah, it's the number 9 because it's his 9th collection. I thought that was very clever, the way they snuck it in. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the cover, it is very clever how they snuck that in. And then we got another number, 11/22/63. I really like this. Merry Christmas, Dad. I love you. What is it, Lars? Christmas 2011. I thought it looked like a key when I was trying to see it. Cool. Now, while I'm not a huge fan of this book, the middle of the book, I love the opening, love the ending. I am super impressed by the production quality of this book. Because this is nice and glossy, and this is matte. But then when you come up here, see if I can get it to shine. This is glossy, and this is matte. Because it's been ripped. It's so cool. I love little stuff like this. I love stuff like this. Absolutely gorgeous. I agree with you, Lee. Well, you just name hopping all over the place. You're worse than Nick. Beautimus. Absolutely beautimus. Doctor Sleep, a novel. Rose the Hat looking like she about to eat somebody, daddy. For no reason, that's the only book my mom has on her coffee table, and no one in my family has read it. That's interesting. Red Rum. Red Rum. Your copy doesn't have a dust jacket? Gotcha. The Dairy It reference was well done in the book. I think so, too. I would agree with that. I like how Richie and Bev weren't just shoehorned in. It was like a very natural thing that happened because he was in Derry around the time that they were kids. Cool. Or teens. Sorry. Older teens. Oh, I love the rainbow oil effect of this cover, but otherwise, I don't like it, guys. I mean, it's cool, but it looks like a generic thriller. And this book, Rose the Hat, does something to you. Yeah, I'm sure. She's a man-eater for sure. Oh, that's so gorgeous. It's like the Aurora Borealis kind of. Lightning pops. It does pop. But it just looks so basic. You know what? It looks like a Dean Koontz book. That's what it looks like, and that's why I don't like this cover. And yeah, anyways. Now we get into some of his coolest covers, I think. It does look, yeah, it totally looks like a Koontz. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at the difference. Look at that majestic shit. The only problem with this cover is that it makes it look like a collection of horror stories when it isn't at all. It's more literary fiction. The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. And that's just cool. That's gorgeous. Little Grim Reaper standing out in the snow. Here we go. One of the biggest disappointments, because I was a huge fan of Owen. A huge fan. I've never even opened this version. I read the ebook, and then I read the then I listened to the audiobook twice. This, I think, is one of Stephen King's most underrated covers. Yeah, he's done 3. We're All in This Together is his first collection. Then he did a double feature, which is absolutely fantastic. And he most recently has The Curator, which is like a magical realism fantasy novel. We're almost done, guys. We're almost done. They stopped putting King on the back of the books. The Institute. For me, this cover makes no sense. For me, this cover makes no sense. It's such a very small... The train is such a very small part of everything. And unless I'm wrong, he doesn't spend much time on the train either. He takes the boat out. Spoilers, sorry. He takes the boat onto the train, and then the train takes him. Oh, there's no telling. Probably because it's just it was just a trendy thing to do back in the day, but now they put text on it. But wait, there's more. My friend Don sent me this from the UK. It's the Waterstones edition with the gorgeous blue paper. Well, it's not blue paper, but yeah. Absolutely gorgeous edition. This is so much better, and the reason I say that is because of the rippling water. All the kids there have mind powers, but also you see the reflection of the Institute in the water. So much better than the American version. So much better. Just like the UK version of Revival has the tent on it. So good, man. So good. Ow. All right, we're almost done. Almost done. Here we go. I got a couple more loose ends to show you, but otherwise we're good. If It Bleeds, so much better than Michael Jackson getting Thanos snapped, the UK edition. And it took me so long to realize that that's a rat that the cat has for a nose. It is weird how we have different covers, but it fits our cultures. And I really like the copper coloring of this book for whatever reason. It's like he doesn't have any other books with the same copper coloring. Almost looks like a penny. Great, amazing cover. That's all I have to say about this book. Amazing cover. Okay, here's something. The first edition, I am not. I'm not holding this open. In fact, I'm trying to squeeze it closed. I'm not holding this open. There's a problem with the first edition of Fairy Tale. There's no water damage or anything. It's completely dry. But for some odd reason, it's expanding at an exponential rate. Like I have to flex to close it. My favorite covers, it's two of them. The way that Desperation and Regulators fit together. I'll show it in a second. I don't know why it's like this, but this is a really cool cover. You have the well, you have the doggo, you have Charlie. I like the font. All right. And then, of course, these are all great covers in my opinion. I love how they're, I don't know, not holographic, but I love how they change. It's not humidity because none of my other books are like that, Ron. I'm trying to show you how they glint, and it's just the blood drops. I love how these books not only look like this, but they all fit aesthetically. It's so pleasing. And it's the same thing, only some of it is shiny. If you haven't realized, that's my favorite part of some covers, is if it has both shiny and matte, glossy and matte. And this is just wackadoo crazy good. The negative fish, oh, so good. Speaking of good audiobooks, Christopher, amazing audiobook. And the way he sings the fish song is so cool. And spoilers on the back. Look away now, children. Look away now. Spoilers on the back. Well, the title of the book is a spoiler if you know. Okay, so here's some random stuff that I just have. No, Bachmann. And then I'll show off how the Regulators connects. Once again, no barcode, just the ISBN. Exactly, the title is a spoiler, yeah. And then we have Absolutely Sexiness, the Regulators, the Wolf, everything on here happens in the book. And then Through the Burnt Hole is the cover of Desperation. Why? Because nope. I always get them backward. And I did it again. There we go. Yeah. Let me make sure I got the blocking right. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that ish. So good. So good. I show that off every time. In fact, Jimmy picks on me. Or Zoop picking on me too. 5th time's the charm. There are people in here who haven't seen it. Stop being mean to me. The only first edition I do not own. Haven't been able to find one. I am still looking. Don't get mad at me. I said they were all first editions. This is actually a book club edition, but it's not a high priority. I love this book, don't get me wrong, but it's not a high priority. No, I completely disagree, Skinny Puppy. But I mean, that's fine. I think Regulators is one of his best books just because it's so out there and wild. Blaze, 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 blaze. Yeah, I'll give you that, Gabriel. Yeah. You didn't know that? Did you not know that those covers fit together like that, Ron? Did you? I'm honestly curious because that's why I always show it off. Sorry, spasm. Give me a minute, a second. I shouldn't be bending like that. I shouldn't be moving like that at all. You didn't know either, Gabriel? Awesome. I love showing people. I've had the books for you. Really? That's cool. It's cool. I love helping people discover things, and that's why I will always show both books off at the same time. All right. Before we get into some of the doubles, is that a footprint? Lord, I never noticed. I can't see that in person. I can barely see it. Look at his footprint. Big ass footprint. You're welcome, Ron. It's funny that as a King fan, I didn't realize Running Man was a King story until about 15 years ago. Hey, all we had was the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and that does not feel like a Stephen King story. Yeah, he wrote it back in the. Hang on. Give me a second. And I love how he tells people up front that this is a Trump novel. Full disclosure, dear constant reader, this is a Trump novel, okay? I want you to know that while you've still got your sales slip, and before you drip something like gravy or ice cream on it, and thus make it difficult or impossible to return, it's a stop there. It's a revised and updated Trump novel, but that doesn't change the basic fact. The Bachmann name is on it because it's the last novel from 1966 to 1973, which was that gentleman's period of greatest productivity. Boom. You have your reasoning. Anyways, here's Black House. I love Blaze. I hated it the first time I read it, probably because I went into it knowing that it was a Trump novel, and I was like, it's a cash grab. Bitch, he's been rich since 1980. He said if he was doing this for the money, he would have stopped writing about the time it came out. Okay, so here's some random shit I have. I have this version of The Dark Tower, the big trade paperback with the illustrations. One of you beautiful bastards sent me this. Yeah, there won't be a third book. I kind of think that King wanted The Institute to be the third Jack Sawyer book. I still think this, and that he took out all of Peter Straub's parts and just wrote his own book. I have my reasons for thinking that. It's because how many times green pops up in that book. Then I have this absolutely pointless version of 11/22/63. That's just a trade paperback version. Ghost Story is my favorite Peter Straub. Easy. I got the first edition right here. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There we go. I like this cover a little bit more than the first edition hardcover. This is Under the Dome. To me, it's prettier. It pops better, but it doesn't have the cool difference in textures. Oh, that book's so long. Another friend of mine sent me this. This is a library copy, so it's case bound, case wrapped version of the Gunslinger. Come back here, Tabitha. Hang on. This book is holding up Tabitha's books. Ah, no, I'm not getting that. It's on the floor now. I got two more. I got the Wastelands. I have a full set of these, but these are doubles. These are the ones that I can't find. They're in storage or in boxes or something. But I have this whole collection of Plume paperbacks. And I got one more. I got like 4 different copies of this. Never mind, I can't find it. I had it somewhere. Well, hang on. I'm coming back, I promise. What the hell? Where'd it go? Okay. Well, 2 hours later. Well, I couldn't find it, which is weird because it's my double. Anyways, but I did find, did you guys see? Well, I can just show it up. This is how many copies. I just keep finding them and I keep buying them. What I was looking for was the purple edition of Wizard and Glass, but I did find this. These are, once again, I have a pristine, brand new copies of every single one of these, but I also have all these doubles because every time I see them, I have to buy them. And now I can't find the Wizard and Glass that I had sitting around somewhere. You're gonna have to take my word for it. Anyways, but yeah, so that's it, guys. That's everything. Unless you want to see the Tabitha and the Joe Hill and the Owen King. If you do, the illustrations were that's the best part of the Plume versions. Unless you want to see the rest of the stuff, I'm done. So, but that's up to you guys. You let me know what you want to do. You don't have the hardcover of Under the Dome? It should be relatively easy on eBay if you want it just for your collection. Because I have a lot of Joe. You want me to do the whole library? Because earlier I got several votes for just Daddy. Just Stephen King. But if you want me to, I'll take a break and I'll come back and we'll do the entire library. Not the entire fucking library. No, I'm just saying all the King stuff. All right, Jake, take it easy. What am I currently reading? I'm almost done with Our Share of Night, and me and Shell are starting S.A. Cosby's All the Sinners Bleed. I knew you were kidding, Zoop. Will you splice all the It and his family ones into the vid into the VOD? You want me to do that? You want me to put all that stuff in there? Because I don't think I've ever shown off my Joe Hill or... Hey, JB, how you doing? You're making chocolate chip and blueberry pancakes while you watch? So let's go the whole hog. Now, I'll throw the It stuff in there. What I'll probably end up doing, because I spent like the majority of the beginning of this video just pouring sweat, I will probably just refilm the entire thing. All right, Christopher, but I'll make it quick. Just for you, I will make it quick. I'm doing great, JB. All right, so let's start with the limiteds for Joe. And everyone else can leave if they want to, but I'll do this for Christopher. So this is 20th Century Ghosts, the limited edition. And you can see the spine. It's blank on the back. Okay. Let's just go book by book. This is the first edition hardcover, 20th Century Ghosts. This is first book. Next up, we have Horns. And Horns, it says, "Blessed shall you be when you go out." And it says the same thing back here. This is Sunta Press. But look at this. Oh my God, it's so sexy. So good. My favorite copy of any Joe Hill book I own. Yes, even more than the one I'm about to show you. Well, I'm going to get there in a second, but this is the only one of the old ones I don't own a limited heart-shaped box. First of NOS 482 or Nosferatu. Yes, I know that's what it says. The dead Skeeter is my favorite part of this entire cover. It is so pretty. Easily my favorite version of this is this basic one. Because this other one I'm about to show you, while it is absolutely exceptional, it is a little busy. And it's also heavy as balls. Come here. It's the heaviest. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that weird glitch when I dropped it? Now, this is the IDW limited edition that they did. It has NOS 482, Nosferatu, and it has the tie-in comic book, The Wraith. That's the front. God damn. The spine. I have a complete unboxing, and well, no, it's a showing off of this one on the channel. So just look that up, because all all this dark matter back here, that's the comic book. That's the graphic novelization. Also, this thing is super fragile. The paper they made the dust jacket out of, ridiculously cheap. It's like wet cardboard. The first of the disappointments, The Fireman. Must not have had deckled edges. No, it doesn't. There are King family comics. Only Joe Hill. He did a lot of stuff like The Cape, Basket Full of Heads, or something like that. Yeah, this was just a Stand ripoff. In fact, the vast majority of the characters in here are named after characters from The Stand. Joe Hill does not do Easter eggs well. And then the next disappointment, Strange Weather. Yeah, this is a novella collection. The next one's his short story collection. The second short story collection. It was literally like he was trying to copy his father's like publishing thing. Like he would release several novels, then a short story collection, then a novella collection. Then he did it again with another short story collection. So yeah, I'm about to show off Lock and Key in a second, Christopher. We're going to get there. I promise. We're going to get there. Full Throttle. The biggest disappointment. The only one I liked in here, I think it was Aloft was in Strange Weather. But there wasn't much I liked about this one at all. All right. Now, to appease Christopher. Lock and Key. All 6 volumes. I think there's more now, but I didn't care for them, so I'm not going to be buying them. Okay. That's Joe out of the way. Now, we do Owen. Don't tell Owen we did him, though. Shh, don't tell Owen. Okay. We're all in this together. It's a novella and 6 short stories, I believe. Once again, deckled edges. Love it. 2, 4. It's only 4. It's only 4 short stories. So there's an opening novella and 4 short stories. Yeah, we're getting to Tabitha in a second, Gabriel. We're getting to Tabitha. This one is good. Really good. It's probably a little bit too political for me, but I enjoyed it. This is a fucking masterpiece. I don't care what anybody says. My opinion, this is a fucking masterpiece. This is up there with Infinite Jest, with Thomas Pynchon. It's an amazing, amazing book. It is about a lost film, so if you're into that kind of thing, it's also satire, comedy, just weird shit going on. It's all based in reality. There's nothing supernatural. This is amazing. Double feature by Owen King. And then we have The Curator. Ooh. I don't have anything to say about this one because I couldn't finish it. Why did Stephen King co-write more books with Tabitha? I don't know. King didn't write any books with Tabitha. He wrote Sleeping Beauties with Owen, and he only wrote a short story with Joe, which was he did a Full Throttle with them too. but he did very short stuff with Joe, and he did In the Tall Grass and Throttle. Was that what it was called? Hang on. Yeah, he did Throttle and he did In the Tall Grass. No, Gwendy's Button Box is Richard Chismar. It's a completely different person. Here, look. See? Richard Chismar? No, it's not Tabitha. He's never written anything with Tabitha. Okay, so that's Owen King. All right. Oh, we also have this Flight or Fright. It's whatever. It's a toss away. Ah, shit. Hang on, guys. I got to squat to do this. Ah, shit. Shit. Anyways, Primeval. This is another one-off. Just because it has a Stephen King story in it. All right, now on to Tabitha. And then we'll be done. I do not have all of Tabitha's books. I only have the ones that interest me. You're welcome, Christopher. I really enjoyed In the Tall Grass because of the baby scene. That was probably the darkest shit either one of them had written in quite some time. We have Small World. Again, we're on Tabitha's books. This is the best book she ever wrote, I think. But she also did a lot of romance. One-on-One. And you'll notice these are not first editions. These are paperbacks. The Trap. She reminds me of my friend Nettie. Or Nettles, as you guys know her. Is this a book club edition? No, it's a first. This is a first edition. It doesn't have book club edition, but it does have the ISBN on it. Yeah, and what you're seeing here, it doesn't say book club edition. It says continue on back flap. And then down here, some copyright information. It's not a book club edition. Pearl, which I believe is another romance. I don't remember anything about The Trap. I don't remember a damn thing about it. Pearl. And then Caretakers. This one's in great condition, and I found it like this. It is also, yeah, it's a first edition. So $13.95, just like Firestarter. Probably came out around the same time. I know Firestarter came out in 1980 because that's the year I was born. 1983. I was wrong. But anyways, that's my entire collection. The only thing missing are the plumes that I told you guys about. And if I do find them, I'll cut them into the video. And, of course, Carrie and the 25th anniversary of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Oh, one more thing. I've shown this off before, but the Stephen King calendar from 2014, this has in it where he references Tak, T-A-K, as the outsider. Tak the Outsider from 2014. Thank you, Solvents. I appreciate it. I thought you left like a long time. I don't know why. I thought you said goodbye a long time ago. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You're welcome, Ron. This was a lot of fun. I hurt like a motherfucker now, but it was a lot of fun. This is the longest stream I've done in a hot minute. You've been lurking, reading. Hey, go on, brother. Reading is better than anything I'm doing. Thanks, JB. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Sloan. Yeah, it's cool to see all these King novels in one place. Yeah, I gotta go back and count them all to see if I beat Zach's books. This is my challenge. It's not like he was saying, I have more books than he. No, that's not what he was saying. But I need to go back and count them all to find out if I actually do have more books than him. There's a guy on Instagram called Ryan. And he has the biggest Stephen King collection I've ever seen. Not only does he have every copy of every single Stephen King book, but he also has all the memorabilia. He has an entire Stephen King room in his house. The dude makes the money. He makes ridiculous change, man. Ridiculous money. Oh, you joined the Discord too? What's your name over there, Solvents? I'll probably see you. Shit, my back. Oh, yep, Solvents. I'm waving to you. All right, cool. Yeah, I chat a lot over there, Solvent. So if you ever have any questions, if you want to hit me up, feel free to tag me. But make sure that you actually tag me, just at E, and I will come up. You have to tag me, because if you don't, there's so many people commenting on there. There's over 80 people in there. There's so many people commenting that I will lose you. So if you have a question specifically for me, at E. You're welcome, Christopher. And sorry for all the confusion when you first came in. I just wasn't clear on what you were talking about. You too, Ron. Have a good night. It should be in the doobly-doo. It's down there in the description, Jimmy. Literally just click on the link down in the description. I saw the title and instantly thought of a short I recently saw where you were worried the weather took out. Yeah, exactly, Gabriel. Yeah, I was terrified. When I saw it, I was like, holy shit. For the first time ever, I dodged bad weather. If you don't know, I lost my original Stephen King collection, the one that my mother was supposed to pass down to me when I was 15. We had just moved out here from California to Alabama, and we moved down to Mobile the day Hurricane Opal hit land in 1995. It took all of our stuff was on the back of a flatbed trailer. We found our couch 3 blocks away in the middle of a street. Destroyed all of her books, and then fast forward to like 2005, maybe something like that, when Ivan or Igor came up through Montgomery. It flooded my storage shed. I was in between places. I was living with my mother, so I had all my stuff in the storage shed. It flooded the entire thing, and the only thing that these were on the top. The water came up to about right here, and I always remember that I had my copy of Insomnia, and half of it was waterlogged, but it hadn't gotten all the way up to here. So, whew, I still have those. But I have rebuilt this entire collection. This is the 3rd time. Had that fucking tree landed on my boy, it would have been over. I would have been like, that's it. I'm not doing it again. Done. GG. Awesome, Jimmy. I'll wave at you later. I am tired. I'm going. It does suck, but I feel like this time I have a much better collection. It's more complete, and it's actually all first editions except for that Blaze, but don't tell nobody. It would have been special to have, because I lost my mother in 2020. It would have been nice to have that collection, but yeah. Yeah, 3 times is a lot of dedication. And he's my favorite author. Now, mind you, most of the first editions I have over here, were either eBay scores in big lots, and that's why I have so many doubles. I usually just give away the doubles, but I'll buy big lots of books, and then I'll pick and choose what I want to keep, like if it's a better condition kind of deal. Or yard sales, and especially estate sales, because all the people, this is going to sound terrible. I know how bad it sounds. Bear with me for just a second. All the people who bought all of his first editions back in the day are dying right now. So if you see estate sales, go to them if it's open to the public and look for books, because the generation of big time readers who liked Stephen King are dying off. So, have I ever met King? Twice. Neither time did I get any signatures or anything. The first time, actually, there was 3 times. I'll tell them in order. The very first time he came through drive-through at a Burger King I was working at in Brewer, Maine. If you don't know, Brewer and Bangor, where he lives, are twin cities. He came through a drive-through and ordered. This is how long ago it was. 99-cent double cheeseburgers. He came through the drive-thru, ordered 2 double cheeseburgers, paid, and left. Didn't say a word to anyone other than ordering at the... He was in an old pickup truck. The second time, I was standing outside of Eastern Maine Medical Center, and I was up there for my back. I was about to have my... This would have been, 2008, so it would have been my 3rd back surgery. And supposedly, he had quit smoking at this time, but the man literally come walking out of the ER and asked me for a cigarette. I was so flummoxed, I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't say anything. Took the cigarette, gave him the cigarette, and he went off and smoked a cigarette. I could not talk to him. The third time was in a Rite Aid. He was in a Rite Aid, standing about 3 people ahead of me. Like I said, I lived in Brewer, Maine for a while. I worked at that Burger King. Anyways, so he was standing in front of me. So have I met him? No, but he did bum a cigarette off me once. Oh, shit. But the first thing that everyone told me when I first moved up there was he does not like being approached. He does not like people fanboying over him or making a big deal about him. He just wants to be a normal dude out in the world. So it took everything I had at Rite Aid not to fanboy all over him, because I had missed my first 2 opportunities. No, not a convention. I just literally bumped into this motherfucker. I've been to his house multiple times, not inside. He doesn't let anybody inside the gates anymore. But his house is on West Broadway in Bangor, Maine. It took me literally like 3 minutes to drive from Brewer over there. I've been on the tours that the city has. It's called the Tommyknocker Tour during Halloween. And you go around and they show you where Pet Sematary was filmed, where certain scenes from the Tommyknockers was filmed, a bunch of different stuff. It's really, really cool. But anyways, I gotta go. Love y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. This was hella fun. Most people like to be left alone. Famous. This is true, Jimmy. This is true. But I appreciate you guys. This was just as much fun as I thought it was going to be. But until next time, all hail the chair. Take it sleazy, guys.